Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, everyone, to My Wife's Unavailable. Today I have my little sister with me, Wesley.
Baby sis.
Baby sis. And we are just going to chat. My wife's currently in another state, so appreciate you filling in. Originally, I was going to ask you about being the baby sister of the family. And then I realized I got a way better topic.
Oh, God. I'm scared.
No, don't be scared.
Okay.
But before we jump into it, will you introduce yourself? Give us a little background. Where you're from? What's your name?
Yeah.
All your, personal details.
Yep. My name is Wesley Bradley. Do they know your last name? Maybe. I don't know. I am 28 years old. I currently am living in Washington State, the Evergreen State, and I am working a couple jobs, looking to move somewhere out of state maybe. I don't really know. And go to concerts and living my young life.
What are the couple jobs that you work?
I work at a coffee stand that I've been in coffee for probably 6 or 7 years now. Just a couple days a week at a stand, and then I'm working a corporate job, big girl job.
Corporate America.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Working for a life insurance company, processing some member updates for people to get life insurance. As you can tell, it's not my favorite thing ever, but
It's not your passion.
yeah, it's not my passion. That's the word.
But it's very important work.
It is. And honestly, I'm learning skills that I can take on to other jobs. I'm pretty good at Excel now. I know how to write an email. I know how to be a professional. And I'm pretty good at my job, I'd say. So,
boom,
it's working out.
Yeah. What more do you need?
It's good for now. It pays the bills. Lets me go and do pretty much whatever I want. I'm working remote, and I can come to Arizona for a week and a half like I'm here right now, and I can work from here and see my family and do whatever I want.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
That's the shit.
It is. It is really nice.
No, it is really nice. I feel like after COVID, a lot of companies kind of went that direction, but I know there was a lot of companies that didn't also. And there was like research showing that people, at least being able, like having the option to work from home was like better for a lot of people's mental health. But then some people also don't want to work from home.
Yeah.
Some people would rather go into the office, but just having the option
Yeah.
would be nice.
I like having the option, and our CEO said, like, you guys never have to come back to the office, whatever, but I like to go, like, sometimes me and the girl that's on my team will go in and work from the office whenever we want. And also it's nice to work from home because I feel like I can, I don't know, just like be relaxed and on my own schedule. Mm-hmm. But I was just talking to Dev about it today, and I was like, because I was helping her get ready for her trip, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to wear this and I'm going to wear this. And I was like, fuck, I miss like being able to like dress up and like get cute for work. And I was like, I want to like get cute clothes. And I was like, I wish I had a job that I could like dress up as. But she was like, you can. And I was like, I know, but I don't right now. And I guess I could go into the office more often, but not a lot of people from my team are like even in Washington State, and then two, like not a lot of people at my office or even go into the office. So I still wouldn't have that like social interaction, but
yeah,
I don't know. Very interesting.
No, it's totally true. And even with my like life coaching business, I started using my sessions with people all like, even if they're virtual, I'll like get showered and like do my hair and like put earrings in and stuff, because it's just like, it's nice to dress up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like get cleaned up.
Well, that's why I like going out on the weekends, and that's what I do like every single weekend, because it's an excuse to put makeup on and get a cute outfit on and stuff like that. So that's one of my, I don't know, I feel like motivators, because I won't want to do anything. And then once I start getting ready, I'm like, oh yeah, like hot, like let's get out. Yeah. Let's go and be out on the town.
Did you know that it's an actual like mental health tip to like not just get dressed, but like dress up,
get fully ready.
Yeah, get fully ready. Get like dress more than just casual that you would on a daily basis.
I've heard of that. I know that in the back of my head I should do it, and I've like thought about it before. I just have never done that, and I've made there's been multiple instances where I've made it a point in my head, like, okay, I want to start getting ready once a week or something like that, because I know that it would help me feel better and help me, like, I don't know, just get ready for the day and stuff. But I just have never really fallen through with it. I don't know. It's kind of hard. That's like another thing with like working from home. I feel like not that my motivation is down, but it's just the same routine pretty much every day. Like I get up and I work from home, and then I usually go to the gym after work, but I'm trying to change my schedule to go to the gym before work, which I like, one, because I feel like I'm a morning person, and two, that it kind of gets me ready to go for the day, and then I don't feel like sluggish while I'm trying to get ready for work. But once I go home, I'm like hoping to like start that routine, because I just started working the shifts at the stand and then working with Symetra. So the two, I'm trying to get in routine of having the two schedules combined basically. And that I originally started at 7 a.m. and then now I'm starting at 8. So I'm like, I have time to work out before work now. So I want to try to do that when I go back.
Nice.
Yeah.
I go back and forth. Me and Emma go back and forth all the time.
About like, wanting to work out in the morning?
No, just like we'll straight up be working out in the morning, like for like a long stretch of time. And then, I don't know, something will change. Like we were getting up super early and working out in the morning, and then I just wasn't really getting good sleep. And I started doing more research on like how to get better sleep. And I came across the sleep doctor.
I think you sent me the test for it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And he wrote a book called The Power of When, and it's all about your like chronological clock. And you take a test and it tells you like whatever chronotype you are. And then off of that, I was like, let me try this out. And like, I need to wake up later than I was at the time. So then we moved back to evenings. And then just a little bit ago, we were doing mornings again, because Emma likes to work out in the morning, because then she's just more motivated to do it, which I totally get it. But why did we move? We just recently moved back to the evenings again, and I can't remember why.
I feel like in the morning too, like if I get it done in the morning, then I'm not able to make an excuse for why I don't go later, because I go to like the physical gym, and I feel like then sometimes I'll make the excuse like, oh, it's going to be super crowded, or, oh, I have to drive there, or something like that. But it really is just like sticking to your routine, because I was going before, I would work 7 to 3:30, go right when I get off. Like I would change into my clothes like during the day, and then I'd go right when I get off. And it was before like the late night crowd. So I feel like that was like a good time for me. And then I would come home, I'd eat dinner, shower, go to bed, and that would put me to sleep at 8:39. But then I started sleeping like shit, and then I just completely stopped like having the routine of going to the gym, because I was just so like, I feel like just the last couple of months I've been stressed with work because I wanted to switch my career path, and then not going to the gym, And then like not sleeping was just adding on so much. And then I just stopped doing a lot of it. But I don't know. It's crazy.
So are you currently in a space or a spot where you're like not working out? Or
I would say like this last month before I came here to visit, I was like not as consistent. Like I was just like going to the gym whenever I could fit in.
Yeah.
But I was in a routine of like I was going probably 4 or 5 times a week, depending. Because when I'm working at the stand on the weekends, if I work on Saturdays, I usually don't go to the gym because I like to go in the mornings on Saturdays. But and then I wouldn't go on Sundays because Sunday is my rest day. So it just depends. And then I'll go Monday to Thursday for sure. Friday and Sunday were my off days.
You might be one of those people that can't work out like too close to bed time.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so another thing is like the caffeine thing, because I don't like to do a lot of caffeine, but I need something to like help me get through the workout. So then I was taking Pump. Have you ever taken that? It's like
Pre-workout?
stim-free pre-workout. And I would take it at like 3:30. But then I think that was adding to my like not sleeping, because I was like pretty much like jacked after a workout and stuff, you know. And then I would come home and I would like try to read or do something to like calm me down. But I was just like laying in bed for hours awake. Like I would put my phone down, put everything down, whatever. At like 9:30 is like usually my cutoff, 10 at like the latest. And I would just lay in bed until like 11:30 for just laying there, like with my eyes closed, but just like thoughts like crazy going in my head. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Caffeine has a half-life of like
5 hours.
I was gonna say like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
So after 12 hours.
Yeah. If I drink it, so that's what I was doing. I was trying to not drink it after like 9 or 10 a.m. Because it would still keep me up. And I wasn't drinking. Caffeine affects me so strongly. Like I would get like a double shot of coffee, whatever, and I wouldn't even drink the whole thing, and I would be like wired. I'm not kidding. Like literally, like it was crazy. And then or like even half calf. Like I take like two sips of it and I am wired. And then even like making sure like I'm drinking water before, and I never drink it on an empty stomach, and it was still like making me crazy. But I don't know. It's just interesting because the last time I worked at the stand, I would drink, which I was also way younger. I was probably like 22, but I would drink like a quad shot in the morning, and I'm working like 7 in the morning. So I drink a quad shot in the morning, and then I would leave the stand at like 2 or something, like 1 or 2. And I would take a Red Bull home with me, and I was like sleeping fine.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know. And maybe it's just like that mixed with like my anxiety, but
maybe. When you, excuse me, when you look up, like, I don't know, when you Google, like, what I can do for my anxiety or like home remedies for anxiety, like the number one thing is avoiding caffeine.
Yeah.
And then I think alcohol too. But that's why I lessened my caffeine intake, because I was
Are you not doing it at all right now?
I do like, I'm trying to do like less than 50 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah. And that's like 1 shot of coffee?
Yeah, it'll be like, I've been drinking more tea than coffee.
Yeah.
So it's easier to stay below 50, but, and some days I don't even have any anymore.
Okay. So I was off caffeine, only drinking tea or whatever, no caffeine for like 3 weeks at one point, probably the month of my birthday. So last month or whatever. And still was not helping my sleep. But it was probably just a one-off because I was anxious about other things. But
yeah, could be. I know for me, when I when I get good sleep and I'm focused on that, then I like don't even think about caffeine. I just like don't even need it.
Yeah.
but it's been a struggle.
I want to try to get back into that routine when I go home and doing no caffeine too, because I know that it's like stress related with like the sleeping, but I just don't know when the last time I had a good night of sleep was. Well, actually I do, because Devin gave me an eye mask. I slept with the eye mask for 2 nights now. The first night I was like, I slept so good, but I think I told you this, but I was like talking to my therapist about like the trauma stuff, because I just have bad dreams every single night.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's why I'm not getting good sleep, is because I wake up so many times. That's also why when I was talking to you about the, what's your wrist?
Whoop.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to get the Aura ring, because I wanted to see like my actual sleeping and how I'm sleeping, because I haven't been haven't tracked it in a while. But I just have super vivid dreams every single night. And I feel like anyone I tell that to is always surprised, because they don't dream every night or don't remember their dreams or anything like that. But I dream multiple times per night, and like every single night. There's not a night where I sleep where I don't dream.
That's crazy. I was going to say I hardly ever dream.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I've been, like I was recently diagnosed with borderline moderate sleep apnea. So like the lowest on the scale you can even be.
Yeah.
But one of the questions they ask you is if you're dreaming, because that you get to a certain level of your sleep cycle.
Yeah.
When you're dreaming. And so that's crazy. Yeah, I wonder what your like sleep stats would be.
Oh my gosh, they're probably really shitty, but
also it doesn't really correlate with not feeling rested. Unless you're getting like too much of, I don't know if it's like REM. I think it's REM sleep when you dream.
Yeah, it is. Well, that too, because I'm like, I don't know. I just haven't found the sweet spot yet, but I go to bed, or I'm in bed at a decent time, like at least by 9, I would say at the latest. And then I usually like read or try to read before I want to go to sleep. And I'll try to put my Kindle down by 9:30, 9:45, unless I'm like super into the book or something. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have like I'll lucid dream, or I'll have like sleep paralysis, which
I've had that before.
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, it's scary. And I'll feel things. Like a lot of people say that they wake up and they like see things.
Yeah,
but
see
I'll
things.
Feel stuff on my body. Like, you know that
no, heck no.
You know the poop lake in Marysville when you're driving like on the freeway. So you know how on the freeway you're taking a left, like
it's like
towards
an L.
Marysville. Yeah. So it's like turning slowly around the corner to go left. I had a dream one time where I drove straight instead of turning left, and I drove into the poop lake. Yeah. and then I woke up. Well, half woke up. I woke up and I could see like my ceiling, but I could feel like the coldness of like slowly going up my body, like I was going underwater. But yeah, I was in the poop lake.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
Man.
So it's like a feeling for me. I don't know what, or if other people experience that, where it's not like the seeing kind of thing, but we'll have the sensation of like feeling whatever my dream is, instead of actually waking up and seeing it.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the lucid dreaming too. But I was talking to somebody recently, and they were telling me that I could be having the sleep paralysis more often because I sleep on my back. But I can't fall asleep unless I'm on my back. Like, I don't feel comfortable, and I don't know why that is, because I used to sleep like on my stomach, or I used to be able to sleep on my sides, but now I have to be in like the perfect position. And I also have like the pillows all around me so that I feel like almost like a weighted blanket. Yeah. I don't know, but I just have to feel like contained.
Dude, I have such a production now going to bed, like pillows, eye mask, nasal strip, completely black room, white noise machine, fan on. Like, I'm like, who have I become?
No, seriously. I'm like, that's how I feel. I'm like, I literally am a grandma. I have to go to bed at 8:30. Even my friends like know that too. They're like, Wes, I can't believe you're awake. Or like, oh, it's past your bedtime. Or we'll be out and you can set a bedtime on your phone, on your iPhone. And mine is at 9:20. And if we're out on a school night is what I call it.
Yeah.
But
me too.
yeah, if we're out on a school night and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, I have to go home. I have to go to bed. And they're like, no, Wes, we're out and about.
Yeah.
Like, we're still out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Like, no, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Or the freaking show, like all the EDM shows, the people we want to see like start at 10 or 11. Yeah. And I'm like, that's actually past my bedtime. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. But it's fun. I don't know.
So,
I'm young and I don't need sleep, right?
Yeah. Speaking of, no, actually you do need sleep. Sleep is the number one most important thing. I know. You should figure that out.
No, I definitely can tell, like, with like my anxiety too. Like if I don't get good sleep, like that's the number one thing in the morning that I feel off if I don't get good sleep.
Yeah, it'll affect your mood, it'll affect your energy, it'll affect what you eat, it'll affect your choices. Like it's
not
muy
good.
importante.
Sí.
So speaking of music,
oh,
that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about.
Really?
So just hold on here.
That was really good.
I'll make sure that comes in clearer next time. But yeah, I want to talk to you about music because you
took me
know
to my first ever concert.
Well, yeah, I was gonna let you tell everyone that. But yeah, you know, and I know how big of a role music can play in our lives.
Yeah.
And I took you to your first concert.
Okay, so for the listeners, I go to a concert probably every single weekend. And it's become a crazy obsession, and I just need music to, I don't know, it comforts me. I get to be with my friends. Like anytime I hear a song that I've heard live, I go back to that moment of hearing it live and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was such a good time, or anything like that. So I realized not too long ago, probably like within the last year, maybe, I had texted you and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you took me to my first concert and like you created this monster because I go to a concert every single weekend. And I just remember like I was probably in like 2nd or 3rd grade. I don't know.
I was going to say you were probably like 10.
Yeah.
But maybe younger.
I don't know. I just remember you taking me wherever you went, and thinking back now, like, and being in my adult life and going out in Seattle, and I'm going to these places that you took me, which is so crazy. And I'm like, I was here when I was 6 years old. And
I don't think you were 6.
I know. I think that's because I think what all started this was because I went to Chop Suey.
Yeah.
Was that
I think so.
What started the conversation? Yeah. So me and my girlfriends went to Chop Suey one night, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been here, but it wasn't like in my adult life. Like it was when we went and saw the Cab and the Somerset, and we're in this tiny little bar.
Yeah,
and
it was a tiny place.
Yeah, and we went and we got autographs from the Somerset, and they were like obsessed with my name being Wesley. Yeah. And I just remember you taking me to all these little concerts, and remember we went to Panic at the Disco and Dashboard.
That was such a good concert.
And Plain White Tees. And I got a Plain White t-shirt. And then we went to Taco Bell after, and we saw Tom from Plain White Tees, and he was literally just knocking on every window and asking for a Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah, he was trying to find Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and I just remember, I don't know, it was just like anywhere you were going to go, you were like, oh, well, I'm going to get a ticket for Wes. Or like, I don't even know how you bought the tickets or how you got the tickets. I don't know. But yeah, I just remember you were taking me wherever. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm going, whatever. I'm going to throw on my band tee and go with you. And we were just like I just remember you being like my first bestie. And I think I said that in your wedding speech too.
Yeah,
but,
you did.
Like, I don't know. I feel like you definitely shaped some of my music taste too, because I feel like I have a little bit of everything too. And even when I reached out to you the other day about the Tiger Lily song, or is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, Tiger Lily. Yeah. And I was like, I remember sitting on your bed and just trying to memorize the words or just starting it over and over again. And like,
you listen to it on repeat all the time.
Listening to it on repeat and just remembering or trying to remember the words. And then finally I could sing every word of it. And I also remember, I don't know if you remember this either, but it's just like so many like little patches of memories where I just remember listening to certain songs like with you. And there's one, I think it's the Anthem by Good Charlotte.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was jumping on the mini trampoline in our backyard and you were like, I think you had your friends over or like something. We had people over at our house. I don't even know if they were your friends or one of our other siblings' friends, but I was just jumping on it and I can't remember the line that I kept saying, but it was that song for sure.
That's so funny.
And yeah, it was just
your hands up.
Yeah, yes, that. And
you were probably singing like another loser anthem.
Probably. Whoa. I don't know. But yeah, I turned into like a little punk rocker because of you. And then I just have those songs on my phone now. And so I'll just listen to them on shuffle. Even yesterday when I was driving, cause you know, like, I don't know if you get this way, but sometimes I'll just be not necessarily like in a sad mood, but I'll be in like some sort of mood where I want to listen to like kind of sad songs or like, I don't even know if they're sad songs, but it's just like songs that make me feel something. And Vindicated what came on. And I was like, I just also remember you like screaming at the top of your lungs that song. And I feel like that's a lot of the Dashboard Professional songs. It's just like ones that you can listen to in the car when you're by yourself and just like scream them.
Yep.
And I remember when you lived in Bellingham, you had your freaking things of CDs in your car every single time.
CD album.
Yeah, and I feel like there was probably like 3 CDs that I would pick every single time we're in the car or something like that. But yeah, you really shaped my music taste. And now I'll just go, I mean, yeah, like I said, I go to concerts like every single weekend, but it's always, usually go to EDM, but there are those like littler shows that I know like you would either like or you showed me them or something like that I gotta convince my friends to go to, because usually EDM they're always on board, or like rap or something like that. But the more alternative choices, I gotta convince the crowd.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know how that really came to be, other than I know, like we were saying, you were always like in my room, we're always listening to music, singing music, and it took you everywhere. It's surprising to me that I was able to convince Mom to let me take you as young as you were.
Oh, for sure.
But I know I feel like you were like anywhere from like 8 to 10, but like no more than 10.
No.
And you were pretty young.
Well, yeah, because I feel like after the Panic at the Disco concert, it was just at Everett
Event Center or whatever
it's called. I don't know what it's called anymore. Yeah. But it was just there, and I feel like I probably went back to elementary school like the next day and was like, yeah, I went to this concert and blah, blah. I probably wore my shirt that I had on the night before or something like that. And even one of my elementary yearbook pictures is the starting line.
Yes. Wasn't it green with like a clover on it or something?
Yeah. And
you also had a Weezer shirt.
Yes. I was just talking about, I don't remember who I was talking to about this, just talking to one of my friends about the Weezer shirt, and I was like, fuck, I wish I would have kept that, because if I want to, like, if I have kids, then I want them to wear this cool ass shirt.
Yeah.
But I just remember it being like so tiny, and then obviously I put it in the donation pile, but I was like, why didn't I keep that?
Dude, I remember like so vividly shopping at Hot Topic for those.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get Wesley a little band shirt.
Yeah. It was so cute. Yeah. So one of my yearbooks, I have that photo.
One of the best.
And I'm also wearing Christmas tree earrings.
You're so cool.
I was like, wow, I was really a little alt
You
girl.
honestly were so cute, though.
I know.
Like, definitely the cutest kid in our fam.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we got some cute ones now, but.
Well, then you were.
Yeah.
Like, of the four of us.
Yeah.
You were
Well,
really
I think
cute.
all of us are pretty. I mean, all of us are freaking hot now, but.
Yeah. Burning up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like every single early memory of us is dancing or singing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like being very entertainment. And yeah, like you said, like I was just like always with you and always like your little sidekick. And yeah, just like a little built-in bestie. And then I would just I don't ever remember like having the feeling like I wanted to be like you. Like I just thought that, I don't know, it was just like I knew how much like you loved me and stuff, and how like, but I was never like, oh, I want to do this because of her. Like I want to like make it so she will like me more, something like that. Like it just was like natural for me to like feel that way, I guess. Yeah. And you were always like, I just think of like the Dig Pig shirt and how I would always be like, can I wear the Dig Pig or whatever? And like, even like when did I stop wearing that shirt? Like when you were in college or something? Like, yeah. Like it still fit
Probably
me.
when I had to move out of the house and go to college.
Yeah. But just like, I don't know. I just knew that I was always your like little bestie, and you were like molding me into like this cool, badass little human, I guess. And now I'm like, I just feel like I get a lot of stuff from you. Like even like you always say like,
taught her everything she knows.
Yeah, I taught her everything she knows. And I don't know, that's how I feel. And then I'll have people who haven't met you and they're like, oh my God, Wes, you're so funny, like blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, you should meet my fucking sister, Chelsea, because when it's us together, like it's just crazy. And we just think of our own whatever. And it's just like, it is so serious. Like you taught me everything you know. And like, I just feel like I'm cool because of you and I'm funny because of you. And I remember one time you told me, Emma told you, yeah, whenever, or maybe she was talking to one of your guys' friends, but she was like, I never try to talk to them when we're together. Like I never try to be in the conversation because they're always like in their own little world or whatever. And that's just so true. I feel like we're always just cracking up.
I think it's just like the sense of humor, like the things that are just like, we just let ourselves like give into like the silliness of things. And
and we just like build and build and build, and then it's just something that doesn't really make sense. Or even like earlier when we were singing that one song and you were singing the words wrong, and then I started singing them the opposite way too. Like it's just we really just are in our own little world, and then are laughing at each other, and then other people are just like looking at us like, oh, that's funny,
and just talking funny, like just to do it. It cracks me. Like I'll say things in just like the weirdest way just to say it, and like Emma will be cracking up laughing, but I'm not saying anything weird. Like I'm just like, I need my water bottle. And she's like, what? Where did that come from? I don't know. Why not?
No, seriously, I don't know if that's like some trigger in our brain that I'm like, I just need to say this in a weird way, or like I just need to sing this random note or something like that. My best friend Cindy, she's like, I would love to hear you mic'd up, like when you're just completely by yourself. And I'm like,
dude.
no, like
Yes.
that would be really comical, because I do just blurt out stuff or just talk in a random voice, and then I'll start cracking up by myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if anyone could hear me right now, they would be like, what's wrong with this girl?
No, same.
Yeah, it's so funny though.
I was just telling Lady Amanda on our last episode that I really want to get a GoPro and just wear it all day and talk to it like whenever I have something to point out or that I'm thinking something interesting.
No, that would be so funny. I feel like it would actually, just even like the podcast, like you never know what's gonna come up or what you're gonna say. Like there could be seriously funny moments that you talk about that you're just like, oh my gosh, you would never know, or you would never have a documentation of that because you're not recording it or following anything, you know?
Yeah.
But that's funny.
Yeah.
And we have had so many of those moments where we talk about like, oh, remember when this happened? Remember when this happened? Of just stuff that we would crack up, like the get in that car seat.
Oh my God. Like so many highlights.
Yeah.
That just like stick out.
And we were just talking about this too, about like our little sayings that we have with each other that we could, that one, all the movies that we quote that we we wouldn't know, or I'll say it to one of my friends and they'll be like, what's that from? Or I'll be like, do you know what that's from? And they'll say no. And I'm like, okay, never mind.
Like,
where's Chelsea?
Yeah. You're like, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. Literally. I'm like, okay.
I'm not going to explain this to you.
I'll just call my sister later or something. Like, okay, never mind.
Oh my God.
But it's so funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. So yeah, I mean, I'll take credit for it. That's cool.
I'll give you credit.
You're pretty cool, like otherwise. But you know, I did give you a good foundation to build off of.
Yeah. No, the other day when you texted me and you're like, you're doing such a great job and all that stuff. Also, I fucking cried reading what you wrote on my birthday card, the giant birthday card that Devin gave me. I was crying. I literally, I'll show you the video later, but I was crying because, all you guys wrote like really sweet stuff, but you were like, another year more beautiful, another year more wiser or something. And then you said, you called me young grasshopper, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in so long. But then I started crying, and then I was like, oh, I miss my family. I'm pretty sure literally after that I booked the trip here because I was like, oh, I haven't seen them in so long.
Since it was before Christmas.
December. Yeah. Since like, it was like the second week of December or something. And usually I'm here by probably like 2 times by the summer because I come here pretty often. But yeah, I was like, oh, I miss them.
I'm going to
book a flight.
Yeah, book a flight. Your mic just went out a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Hello.
You're coming in clear now.
Hello. Oi there.
Okay, so now you're like more into the EDM scene, which I'm fully aware based off of what you've told me and showed me and I see on your Instagram.
Yes, that's what I was going to say is, okay, so you got me into all this and then like a year ago we have the conversation about how you like EDM and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, I literally go to these type of shows every single weekend. And how did I not know that my sister that got me into music likes the type of music I like?
Yeah.
So then I made you that playlist and you're like going through every single song and telling me what you like, what you dislike, how does it make you feel, everything like that, so that I can start adding more songs to the playlist. And we still have to plan it, but I want to take you to like your first rave because it would be so fun. And I just feel like it would be such a full circle moment.
Oh, yeah.
And
we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's happening.
And it'll probably be like Millennium.
Yeah. It's happening.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to EDM for a long time, but I can't tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you who's who. Yeah. Like at all. Not even Millennium. Even though I know them, I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, that's them. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why I never said anything.
Yeah.
But I also just listen to such a variety of music that it changes by the hour, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas you probably listen more to EDM than anything else, would you say?
Or
that's just like the shows you go to?
Definitely the shows I go to are more EDM than not because they're super cheap. Usually they're like $30 for a ticket instead of like 150 for a concert ticket. But it depends on the day. Like when
Mondays I listen to country, Tuesdays.
Country West is coming back though, everybody.
Oh,
be warned.
I saw her the other day.
Yeah, she's crazy. It depends on the day. Like so I listen to music probably the whole day, like while I'm working and stuff. But this is kind of where like I feel like my ADHD brain kicks in because I'll be listening to a song. Like sometimes I'll just start it on shuffle and then I'll be listening to a song and then I'll click on the artist and start listening to them. And then I'll go off on a tangent on another song and on another artist and stuff like that. So it's never like, oh, I'm just listening to EDM today or something like that. So like, but I'll listen to every single song by like Beyonce or something. And then I'm off on a tangent on somebody else. And then I'm listening to a mix on SoundCloud or whatever it is. But there are certain moments where I listen to certain things, I guess. Like if I want to, one in particular is like if I want to be like if I want to be like in a calming mood, or like maybe I'm like in the sauna at the gym or on a long drive or something like that, I'll listen to like the specific mix on SoundCloud. I think I sent you them, the Casbo Cry and Dance mixes.
I think you did.
Yeah, because they're very like, it's the same vibe of music and kind of like housey, but more calm house. It's not like it's more like mixed songs, but I really like that. And then it's really all over the place. So I use Apple Music, which I know that we talked about that, but Apple Music, and then sometimes on SoundCloud. But when you listen, do you like, if you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to Dashboard today and just listen to them, or is it just all over the place too?
Yeah, it's all over the place. It's usually a song that pops in my head, or sometimes it's a feeling. Like if I'm like working out or just kind of like I don't know if it's like a grumpy mood or like I need like a mood booster, I'll usually listen to rap. And but then like if I'm feeling like super lovey, then I'll listen to country. I have made a playlist of songs that remind me of Emma, like when I want to be reminded of how much I love her. And they're mostly country. But and then for some reason, EDM, I listen to that when I'm like working. And I don't know where that came from, but well, actually, when I was first introduced to EDM, it was at work. Like some young bloke was like, hey, play, I'm pretty sure it was Millennium. It's like, play Millennium. And I'm like, okay. Because I was like the DJ at work. And then that's how I started listening to it. But like I said, I couldn't tell you like people, names. I couldn't tell you anything. But then I don't even remember what I reached out to you about, like a song or something. But there's a song called Crashing by Millennium. And without fail, it will make me bawl my eyes out because I think of my wife. And I think I maybe brought that up to you. And you were like, wait a minute, like you listen to this? And then, but ever since you made me that playlist, like it's like the thing that I play when I'm like sitting down to work. And it's just, I don't know, it gets me like, I think it's like the beats that I really like.
Well, and I feel like sometimes there's not a lot of words, so maybe that's not like distracting to you while you're trying to work.
Yeah, totally less distracting.
I feel that way too.
I think I like it because it reminds me of like rap. The reason I like rap is not because of the words. The reason I like rap is because of the beats, like the sick beats. And so that's a lot of the EDM songs remind me of that.
I feel almost the opposite because, especially with Millennium, like I feel like most of his songs are like feelsy and sad, and I love songs like that because I love that feeling that a sad song gives me. I don't know. I don't even know
when that beat drops.
Well,
it's like
Yeah.
I love it.
That's also interesting though, because I've sent you like bass songs, which is what I feel when I'm like, oh, when the fucking beat drops. But you don't really like those. And it's just different, I guess, for different people. But that's like the melodic, or most of them are like the ones that I put in your playlist are probably like the melodic dubstep, which is like the sing-songy and then like the big beats and stuff like that.
Yeah. I love it.
But it's like pretty and it's dancey and it's like the song Crashing is like cute. And yeah, I remember, I'm not sure why you sent me that song or why we were even talking about that song. And then, or maybe I had already put it on your playlist and then you said, I love this song because it reminds me of Emma or something like that. But yeah, and then every time I hear it now, like I'll hear it. I've heard it live like twice, I think, since you told me that. And I always like think of you when I hear it now and like video it and I'll send it to you. But he hasn't played the full version since we've had that conversation.
That's gonna need to happen.
Yeah,
when we go in real life.
Well, we have to go to like his trilogy show because do a
backstage pass.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, meet him. Yeah, we have to do like the trilogy show because he'll play. Like he plays like 3 sets. So that's your best bet, probably hearing it, because he'll literally played for 4 hours when we went and saw him in LA. And then the last time when I saw him at the Gorge, he played 2 sets. So he played a throwback set one night and then he played his regular set. Okay. So it's multiple sets, which is nice. Yeah.
Maybe like your 30th birthday is like a 20-year anniversary of the love of music.
Yes, let's do it. Oh my God, that would be so funny.
That would be awesome.
We gotta go. Well, I know that like Dashboard is still touring and
they were either just here or they're gonna be here like soon.
I haven't listened to them though I mean, I still listen to like their old stuff, but I haven't listened to any of their new albums.
I kind of got
since like
I kind of got a little
2014 or something.
I don't know. I wasn't vibing the sound.
Yeah, anymore. It sounded different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still listen to his old stuff.
There's like 4 albums that I feel like are on my phone.
Yeah.
Like Dusk and Summer for sure, 1.
Yep.
Shade of the Poison Trees.
Yep. Shade of
which is one of the ones that I remember like we would always play when I was in your car. Yeah. And then Vindicated is 1 album.
That's on Dusk and Summer, I believe.
I love the
song Mark a Brand Mission a Scar. That was like bitter boy band music. That's what I was gonna say earlier when you were like, sometimes I want to listen to music that's like sad, and then you start talking about Dashboard. Like back in my day, we called that bitter boy band music.
Okay, well that's like the shit I love, especially when I'm in like some like melancholy mood. Yeah. And I'm like, I just want to listen to like something that'll put me in the feels.
Like, teenage boys getting like broken up with, like that's what it's like reminds me of.
And the song freaking Constantine.
Oh, I was just gonna tell you,
20 minutes long.
Yeah, I used to fall asleep to that every single freaking night.
I feel like I remember
for like
that.
2 years, but I was gonna say I most recently started listening to Jack's Mannequin. Like brought that album back because I was just like, oh my God, I love this stuff. And I think it was last year or the year before. Dashboard Confessional and Jack's Mannequin had like a throwback tour, and they came here. We went to see them, and they were singing all of their old stuff, like all the stuff they were singing when I was in high school. And I was just like, this is my soul in a concert.
That is so fun. Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
I wish I could have seen that.
And Andrew McMahon doesn't play Constantine very much in real life.
Because it's 10 minutes long.
Yeah. And he played it. And I was like, I was like grabbing Emma and I was like, oh my God, he never plays this song. And I was literally like crying. Like I was like, this is the best day of my life.
I love when a song can just literally bring you to tears. Especially in person. I just feel like it's so much more, I don't even know the word.
It's definitely a greater impact in person.
Yeah.
And just the vibe, like, you know, everybody's there because they all love this person.
Yeah.
They all love the music. Everybody's vibing, they're dancing, they're singing. It's just the atmosphere is just the best.
I don't know if I told you, but so we went to Trilogy in LA, which is a Lineum, and he's like the 3 sets. And his first set, I think his first set was technically a throwback set. But he played for like an hour and a half, and I cried the whole first set, like literal tears. Like I was just standing there. My friends are standing next to me and they're just vibing, whatever. And I'm just sobbing because he just played a bunch of songs that I loved, and then a bunch of songs that like at one time in my life meant something different.
Yeah.
And now I can listen to them. And I feel like at those moments when they meant a lot to me were like moments of heartbreak or moments of like hardship or just like going through a rough time while I was younger, which I mean, it was like 5 or 6 years ago, and then listening to them now and like being proud of myself from like how far I've come and like how good I'm doing, but also like still, I don't know, still trying to like relate back to those moments of like being in a tough position or something like that. And then looking at like my best friend standing next to me at this concert, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm so thankful for these girls and like so thankful for this music that can make me feel all these things, and was just crying the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best concert ever.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Like I mean, not everybody uses music this way or has music, you know, in their life this way. But yeah, you and me, like we have times in our life where we turn to music, or maybe we're not even like purposefully turning to music, but it's something that's just, you've always had music in your life since you were little. I always have headphones on, like listening to something. A lot of it's podcasts these days, but like there's a day doesn't go by that I don't listen to some music.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you totally like end up looking back at, like, I remember when I lived with Dad for when I was taking care of him when he had his knees replaced, and I was going through a breakup, and I was listening to Andy Grammer at the time, and I was just in the shower just like belting it out and like crying.
Okay, that's so funny because I also have like 2 Andy Grammer songs that I specifically relate to a breakup to, and I'm just like thinking of that.
Yeah. It's
so
probably those
crying in the
probably
shower.
Those ones that I was singing.
Yeah.
But now it kind of sucks because like anytime I come across those songs, I'm like, oh, I really like this song, but it really just makes me remember that time.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I listen to it, sometimes I'm like, skip.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much of an impact music can have. But it's also a really great tool for your mental health. Like it boosts your mood, you know, your energy, singing, dancing, like all that.
I saw something like relating back to the sleeping and waking up in the morning too. I saw something that this girl, she would just wake up and she would put on music and just literally like dance all crazy for the first 5 minutes of her day. Oh my gosh. And she was like, I swear to God, like it was waking me up. It was putting me in a mood because I'm just I'm being goofy and dancing all crazy to this music. And she was like, it's just like the best start to
I believe it.
My day. And I was like, that is so funny.
Yeah.
I can just imagine like
I believe it.
being like,
it would take a lot of energy, I think, for me, but yeah. And I'm not like a big dancer. I'm more of a singer. But yeah, I believe it. Even just moving your body, like, but yeah, it's crazy. Well, for a wrap up, I have some questions I'd like to ask.
Rapid fire.
Kind of like rapid fire, but not exactly. But I was talking to Lady Amanda on the last podcast.
Lady A. Shout out Lady A.
Yeah. And we were talking about just questions, basically, and how like listeners end up kind of looking for the answer. Like when you have another guest on, they're like, oh, I want to hear them answer this question.
Yeah.
Like they know the questions you're going to ask. So the listeners kind of start to get like a relationship with the questions you ask.
So you're going to ask the same question to all of your guests?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I came up with some questions, and you're going to be the first one to answer them.
Oh, no.
So no pressure. What is something you are curious about? Can be like general. It could be something right now in this moment. It could be whatever.
I'm curious about a lot of things, honestly. I think like you too, I'll just Google whatever.
Yeah.
And also I feel like I probably got that from you too, because you would, there was like a point in time that I think you would say like, let's Google it or just Google it or something like that. Do you remember that?
No,
or am I
do.
making that up?
No,
okay.
I do.
Okay. One thing to kind of relate back to our conversation that we've had today, dreams are so interesting to me.
Yes.
Especially because I have them every single night. But I'm like, why did I dream about my third grade teacher?
Do you ever look up like the dream analysis or whatever?
No. I don't, because I have in the past, and I don't really see much of a correlation, or to what I'm like thinking about or anything like that. But
not
my
really
dreams
adding up.
Yeah, and my dreams are so weird and random
like
that
hard
I'm
to
like
describe.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way that there's a reasoning that I'm dreaming this. So I don't, but I just want to know like what in your brain makes this certain thought stick in your head so that this is what I dream about.
Yeah.
You know, because it could be something that I think about. Oh, I thought about pizza 3 days ago, and then tonight I'm going to have a dream about pizza.
Yeah.
But it's not correlated at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that I'm thinking about consistently or anything like that. I mean, sometimes it is, and it could be like related to stress, but the most random ones, I'm like, I had a dream that Wiz Khalifa was my Uber driver. And I was like, I woke up and I texted Sandy and I was like, I had a dream that Wiz Khalifa was our Uber driver. And she was like, that's sick. And I was awesome. Like, yeah, but like, I wasn't listening to Wiz Khalifa. I haven't listened to his song or a song of his in probably like 2 weeks or something. And then he's my Uber driver in my dream. Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, that's totally random.
Yeah.
That is a great thing to be curious about though, honestly.
Yeah.
Best self-care tip or self-care advice?
Something that always makes me feel better is being by myself. Especially I feel like I'm always doing something. I'm always talking to people. I'm always with my friends. But something that gets me really recharged is spending time by myself, whether it's I go get food by myself, or my favorite thing to do is like I'll go pick up food and then I'll go to the beach and I'll like take my journal and I'll just sit by the water and like listen to music and just like literally sit. Well, since it's not really nice in Washington yet, I'll just sit in my car and like have music playing and then just like looking out to the water. But that's like something that recharges me, and that's also something like I can always like feel my feelings or whatever I'm feeling in those moments. And I feel like that always like recharges me. And I feel like I get like a fresh start after that. Like it's a new energy that I feel after being by myself for a little bit, and like taking the time to kind of get to know myself and hang out by myself.
That's a great tip. That's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting here thinking of it like I'm watching a movie or something.
Yeah. Well, and
it's
I
beautiful.
Was like, I was talking to Hallie about it like not too long ago. Also, I realized I'm saying like all these names on here and nobody knows who any of these people are.
Well, all your friends will if they listen.
True. Shout out, you guys. I love you. But we were talking about, because a couple of months back I was just like very stressed, wasn't sleeping, all that stuff. And then I realized like, oh my gosh, I haven't hung out by myself or like took the time by myself. Like I used to go to the beach and would just drive or like go on a drive by myself like once every couple weeks or once every other week, just to like get in that routine of like being by myself and like spending time by myself. And then I stopped doing that and forgot about it. And then she reminded me of it. And then I started doing it again. And I was like, okay, I need to do this more often because that really does recharge me.
Hallie's a saint.
She really is.
Hallie, thank you for reminding her of her best self-care tip.
Yeah.
That's important.
Love that girl.
What lights you up right now?
That's a good one.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Honestly, the gym.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, well, actually, this is a two-parter. The gym, like, physically lights me up. Like, I feel like once I go to the gym and I feel good, like the endorphins are pumping, everything like that, I look in the mirror and I can see, like, the progress that I am making.
Yeah.
I feel so good. I feel so confident. I'm like, I could do anything, and I feel super strong. And just, like, the process of feeling stronger every single day. And like, I'm weight training. So I am going up in weight and can physically feel and see myself getting stronger. And so I'm like, that's freaking sick. And I feel like that gets me jacked.
Yeah. You feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing is my girlfriends. Like I feel like we have such a good relationship. We're so close. We freaking love each other so much, and every moment I spend with them, I try to be super present, and I feel very present, and it just feels so wholesome to me. And I know that these moments are something that I'm going to look back on when I'm older and be like, oh my gosh, I had the best late 20s with my girlfriends, and we were just having so much fun going to these concerts, going to festivals, going out of state, whatever it was, and like traveling together and just really soaking up the time with each other and loving on each other. And we're just each other's biggest fans, and we're always rooting for each other. It's never competition or anything like that. We're always just so supportive of each other. And I feel like that's not, I'll talk to other people, and that's not something that's the norm for a lot of people. Like a lot of people don't have like a good close knit group of girlfriends, and that's just like so important to me. And I know that I can go to them through anything. Yeah. And they're fun, and we're all hot, and we're funny. Yeah. That's
the unconditional love and like full support system.
Yeah. It's just so great. Wholesome. And like that also, like, I don't know, it charges me, and it makes me want to do better and be better.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had 1 minute to tell the world something, what would you say?
Oh, God.
And you do have a minute, and the whole world is listening. So here you go.
Well, I mean, I don't really know what type of audience is going to be listening, but
any type.
I think really just seize the day. Like,
carpe diem.
Yeah. Anytime, just wake up, do whatever you want, anything that makes you happy. I always go back to like it being super cliche, but like life's too short to be anything but happy. And I really think I've been realizing that over the last couple of years. Like, you can do whatever you want, and if something is not making you happy or not making you feel good, you can get rid of that, and you can change your life. And nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, or what's going to happen in a month, or if we're even going to be here tomorrow, you know? So just do what makes you happy and live your life and have fun and love on the people that are in your life, because that's just going to make you feel so much more fulfilled at the end of the day.
That's awesome. And that is a similar thing that we talked about in the last episode. So to those listeners, they should be able to, pick up on the similarities.
The dots.
Yeah.
Wow.
So speaking of the audience, we're clearly speaking to the same audience, because we had a similar theme in the last episode, and I didn't even tell you about it.
Yeah.
And here you are talking about it.
Interesting.
So. All right. Last question. if your wife was unavailable and you really wanted to share something with her, like in that moment, what would you do?
Okay, so this is where the ADHD kicks in because I would probably still text her or blow up her phone or something and be like,
she's not gonna be able to respond though.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would just say, I need to tell you this later, or just like a little note. You should see my notes app because it's a bunch of stuff that I need to remember or I'll forget. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would probably still just text her and
just
say,
blow her phone up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least say, hey, I need to tell you this later or something like that, or send a voice note and say what I need to say.
Okay.
Because,
that's a good idea.
Which I know maybe you can't do that with Emma, but
I could try.
Yeah.
That's actually the real reason I'm asking everyone that question. So I could get some tips for my own moments.
Well, I just will forget. That's most of the reason that I'll blow up whoever I'm texting, because I will forget the second that it leaves my mind, obviously. Yeah. But even me and Cindy started doing this, but if I'm driving and I need to remember what I need to get at the store, or we need to, whatever it is, we need to pick up something or need to remember to throw the laundry in when we get home, I'll voice text her and send it. I'll say like, Siri, can you text Cindy? And I'll send it to her because I will actually forget it.
Siri thinks you're wanting to text Cindy right now.
Okay. Also, that never works. I've tried that before because when I got a new phone, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to set up Hey Siri, and I'll be in like the shower listening to music, and I'll want her to change the music or do something. I've tried it a million times, and that is the first time it's ever worked.
Dude, maybe it'll work now from now on.
I'm pissed. That's so stupid.
That's hilarious.
I freaking hate my phone.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're kind of out of time. I mean, I know this is my podcast and I can decide when we're out of time, but I was trying to keep it to an hour. And so I guess we're out of time.
Oh, how long have we been talking?
An hour and 6 minutes and 47 seconds.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm going to try this again. But Wes, thank you so much for doing this with me.
That was so fun.
Yeah, I loved it. And I am still going to host people virtually. So if you want to be back on, let me know.
Well, I liked I definitely want to be back on because I feel like once we started talking, then I was kind of in the rhythm of it.
You get the jitters out.
Yeah. Well, at first I was like, oh, we're talking on a podcast. But then some sort of thing clicked in my mind and I was like, oh, wait, I'm just talking to my sister.
We're just talking.
Just act like we're not even.
Yeah, that always happens.
You know? Yeah.
Maybe I should start recording like 5-10 minutes after I start talking to people, because then they kind of forget, where you're at, what you're doing. And then like just what happened to you, you fall into just like, oh, we're just having a conversation.
Well, yeah, you should just start it whenever, honestly, because then you can cut it and like we could talk for 2 hours and then you could just cut it
into 2 episodes.
No, not into 2 episodes, but you could cut out what you don't
really want to make edits though.
Oh,
one of my things with this podcast was having organic conversation. Like I didn't want things really scripted. I wanted to just have the conversation flow because I know that I'm going to come up with questions because I'm going to have them.
That's for sure.
So,
well, okay. Another thing I was going to say, are you allowed to swear on this? Because I was swearing.
Yeah, you've already sworn multiple times.
I know. I swore. I know I swore.
Yeah.
But I'm saying maybe if I come on again, like, do you want me to
no,
not
it's
swear?
not. You can say whatever you want to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
I accidentally swear all the time. And then I'm like, fuck.
I know. Mom hates it, but she's going to be our number one listener. So
she's
going to have to get used to it.
Oh, yeah. Because she wanted you to make this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. I love you so much.
I freaking love you,
everyone.
lady.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy this little tune. Bye-bye.
Bye.